It was just another crisp fall day. I sat in class watching the clock tick by. I couldn't wait to get out on the courts and warm up. I loved listening to the football players' cleats click as they jogged up the cement stairs past the courts. It was my junior year, and I was number one doubles. Tennis was my life. I played every day. I lived to ace a serve and slam a volley down my opponent's throat. I dreamed of going to state. We had a match the next day. I was already excited to put my ruffled tennis skirt on and tie my hair up with a big bow. Coach had us play practice matches in preparation for game day. My partner was serving, and I was at the net. I felt something rock hard slam into the left side of my head. My neck flung forward and back again. I reached up to my head. It hurt. My partner asked if I was okay. I said to serve the ball. I wasn't a quitter. I had a concussion. My dad asked me what kind of ice cream I wanted, and I stared at him blankly. Ice cream was, and still is, my favorite thing in the whole world. I played in the match the next day, and every other after that, including the entire season my senior year. I wasn't a quitter. I started coming home from rowdy high school football games and telling my dad my head hurt, and then my neck, and then my back. The season was over, and the pain was unbearable. I started to see specialists, every specialist in the book, including Stanford. The pain didn't stop, but I stopped going to school. I wouldn't leave the couch. I wouldn't talk to anyone but my dad. I was drugged. I cried. I cried a lot. I sobbed in my dad's arms and said I couldn't do it anymore. He got tears in his eyes and told me I couldn't stop fighting. 4.5 years later, I'm still doing it. I'm still fighting. Had I not gone to practice that fall day in September of 2012, I would be playing tennis in a beachy college town. I would be a California girl. I wouldn't be sitting in this class. I wouldn't be roaming this campus. I wouldn't be cheering on the Wolfpack at every sporting event. I wouldn't be dreaming of sideline reporting at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I wouldn't have had 3 doctor appointments a week for years. I wouldn't have seen every specialist there is to see. I wouldn't have gotten endless false diagnoses. I wouldn't have burst into tears just a few months ago when Fight Song by Rachel Platten blared through the speakers while I was driving home from a doctor appointment going 70 miles per hour on 395. I wouldn't have been asked to teach kids yoga. I wouldn't be practicing yoga for that matter. I wouldn't have been asked to write newsletters and post social media for my yoga studio. I wouldn't have filmed the women's tennis match for Wolfpack Sports last Friday. Oh, the irony of that. I wouldn't have sat in the stands, waiting for the match to start, wiping away an escaped tear at the thought of what could have been. I wouldn't have turned away just in time for a tennis ball to hit me in the back of the head as a Davis girl warmed up her forearm. I wouldn't have had 4-inch-long needles injected into the back of my neck last week. I wouldn't have felt the poke. I wouldn't have felt the cold spray drip down my face towards my mouth. I wouldn't have felt the liquid shoot up the back of my skull. I wouldn't nanny the 2 cutest boys on the face of the planet. I wouldn't have seen their first home runs and their gleaming smiles after the fact. I wouldn't be so thankful for the nearly pain-free days I've had at sea level in North Van and Alicante. I wouldn't have learned the beauty of smiling through the pain. I wouldn't be me.